Every culture has its ghost stories, its reports of unexplained phenomena, its whispers about things that go bump in the night. But while history catalogs these tales as supernatural events, today we are taking a radically different approach. Welcome to another episode of Paranormal Science Exposed, where we uncover the truth behind the unexplained with the power of science. And let's warn you, today's topic might challenge everything you think you know about hauntings. Cut to a sleek laboratory setting with rows of advanced sensors and computers glowing in dim light. Voiceover. When people talk about paranormal phenomena, the focus is usually on haunted houses, apparitions, eerie voices, and unexplainable movements of objects. But what if I told you that science, not horror films, and not third-hand anecdotes, will lead us to the truth? In today's episode, we'll dive deep into some astonishing connections between quantum physics, artificial intelligence, and the world of ghost hunting. Get ready for a journey where science meets the supernatural, literally. Scene changes to footage of advanced tech equipment, infrared cameras, digital spectrometers, and infrasound recorders. Voiceover. First, let's break down the tools of the trade. How do we investigate ghostly activity scientifically? Forget Ouija boards and candlelight seances. Think thermal imaging, infrasound detectors, and AI-driven pattern analysis. Now, combine these technologies with cutting-edge theories from quantum mechanics and dark matter physics, and it almost seems like we're hacking into the unseen dimensions. But does it work? Scene transitions to a researcher in a lab holding an infrasound recorder. Voiceover. Let's start with infrasound, sometimes called the ghost frequency. Infrasound refers to sound waves below the threshold of human hearing, usually less than 20 Hz. These low-frequency waves can cause strange sensations in people: anxiety, chills, even the feeling of an unseen presence. Studies have even linked infrasound to vibrations that occur naturally in old buildings, caused by wind, machinery, or even seismic activity. Could many hauntings simply result from exposure to infrasound? Isn't it fascinating that what many describe as a ghostly experience could actually come down to the unseen power of sound? Cut to a nighttime investigation inside a supposedly haunted house. Equipment is set up, including a thermal camera and EMF, electromagnetic field reader. Voiceover. Next, we turn our focus to electromagnetic energy. Do ghosts generate detectable electromagnetic fields? That's one argument frequently posited by paranormal investigators. However, skeptics argue that many of these readings originate from man-made sources. For instance, can improperly shielded electrical wiring or household appliances explain what some claim to be supernatural energy spikes? Researchers use highly sensitive instruments to map out the electromagnetic fields of rooms before attributing anything to ghosts. Sometimes these fields reveal fascinating patterns that AI software is now helping us analyze in unprecedented detail. Scene transitions to a split-screen visual. On one side, a scientist is handling thermal footage. On the other, data visualizations show numbers and heat maps changing. Voice-over. This brings us to artificial intelligence. Using machine learning, we can now sift through tens of thousands of hours of audio, video, and thermal data, looking for recurring anomalies, patterns that might indicate unusual activity, or conversely, patterns that debunk paranormal theories entirely. Researchers are training algorithms to recognize unusually cold spots on thermal cameras, irregular EMF patterns, and even phantom voices in audio recordings. Could AI hold the key to separating the real from the imagined? Scene zooms in on a thermal camera image, which highlights a heatless void floating in a room. Voice-over. Thermal cameras are another key tool in the quest for answers. If you hear researchers or even paranormal enthusiasts talk about cold spots, they're likely referring to dips in temperature that some believe are signs of ghostly presence. But scientifically speaking, sudden temperature changes could result from drafts, HVAC systems, or objects absorbing heat unevenly. Using advanced thermal imaging, we can rule out or confirm the presence of unexplained sources of cold. But wait, what if these cold spots are doing something we can't readily explain? Scene changes to images of equations on a chalkboard and an animated visualization of particles moving through space to represent quantum physics. Voice-over. And this is where quantum physics enters the conversation. Some physicists propose that quantum entanglement, essentially the ability of particles to influence each other instantaneously across distances, might explain phenomena that seem otherwise supernatural. Is it possible that ghosts are quantum echoes? Could their existence be rooted in the quantum realm, where the ordinary rules of cause and effect begin to blur? While this might sound like science fiction, some researchers looking into multiverse theories and parallel dimensions have asked, what if those ghost stories are glimpses of other dimensions bleeding into ours? Cut back to footage of dark matter simulations and a discussion panel of physicists. Voice-over. Then there is dark matter, the mysterious substance that makes up roughly 27% of the universe. Invisible and undetectable except through its gravitational effects, dark matter challenges what we know about reality itself. Could entities described as ghosts be comprised of a substance like dark matter? Might these beings somehow interact with our world, albeit in ways we don't yet understand? While scientists are careful not to jump to conclusion, the idea does invite fascinating discussion. Scene transitions to a synthesized clip showing AI simulations recreating hauntings, shapes emerging from colors of data noise and refined patterns. Voice-over. AI also offers a way to recreate and simulate paranormal encounters based on data input. For instance, when we feed in data from thermal cameras and infrasound recordings, we can recreate a digital simulation of what these events might look or feel like. The uncanny accuracy of these reconstructions has not only advanced our understanding of supposed hauntings, but also reframed them in the context of human psychology and environmental factors. Cut to a psychologist discussing how human perception influences our beliefs Voiceover. And what about the human mind itself? Our brains are wired to detect patterns even when they don't exist. This is called pareidolia, and it's the reason people often see faces in random objects like clouds, shadows, or even toast. Similarly, expectation bias causes people to interpret ambiguous sounds or sights as supernatural when they're in haunted settings. But what happens when we remove the human element? What if the tools and data analysis speak for themselves? Scene zooms out to show footage of all the tech being packed away after an investigation. Voiceover. The intersection between science and the supernatural may still be full of unknowns, but modern tools are helping to provide clarity in a world filled with speculation. Quantum physics, infrasound, electromagnetic theory, and artificial intelligence are dismantling, reconstructing, and reshaping the way we view so-called paranormal events. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing is clear. Science is bringing us closer than ever to uncovering the truth. Closing scene. The Paranormal Science Exposed logo fades onto the screen with eerie sci-fi themed music playing. Voiceover. Thanks for joining us on this thought-provoking journey. What do you think? Are we uncovering evidence for the unexplained, or just uncovering ourselves? Keep questioning, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time on Paranormal Science Exposed.